from a construction project management perspective, can you talk a little bit about the places that the animals will live, how that's been constructed, and here's where we can plug in the eco side, where we're using fencing and stuff, and maybe some of the challenges that you've encountered during that process?
Yeah, I mean, the main thing for housing for wolves is that in the wild they can wander as many as 40 miles a day. So it's very unfair to put them on chains, put them on a concrete bed, put them in a small enclosure. And we do none of that. We use recycled timber from the day fire near our facility. We actually use giant pine logs anywhere from 2 feet in diameter to 20 inches in diameter. We put them down in the ground. We level the tops off. We use 9-gauge recycled chain link. And for these wolves in particular, we have what we're going to call wolf mansion, which is about a 2.5 or 3 acre facility, 2.5 acre or 3 acre facility where they're going to be able to kind of run around, and we're going to set up a pack. We have wolf mansion minor, which is connected to that, where we're going to put some of the females and males and watch behavior. And then for those animals that have a little questionable disposition, you know, most sanctuaries or most organizations put them in dog runs, you know, on concrete, like a 6x10 with a roof on the top. Our smallest enclosure for quarantine is about 1,000 square feet. And, you know, we put a doghouse in there, we put some water in there, and we're just going to monitor behavior. So I have a place to put them, but construction-wise, we might have to alter or change our scheme based on behavior. We don't build cages to put animals in. We build enclosures to build families. And then sometimes, based on that family structure, we have to build another enclosure or an adjoining enclosure or a smaller area or a larger area. And we're prepared to do that. Using recycled materials, you know, trying to be environmentally sensitive whenever we can, not driving metal poles and concrete into the ground, and just trying to keep the world, you know, beautiful and pristine. And that's what we do at our sanctuary. Everything's pretty much natural.
What are some of the difficulties involved in that process if you had to pick 1 or 2 things that are just a pain in the ass about building the enclosures?
Well, the biggest pain in the ass about building the enclosures, if you want to use recycled chain link, you have to go to about 10 different distributors. And you essentially have to buy scrap material, and you have to kind of put it together. So that's number 1. Because it's always easier when all the material is the same size and you can use it. And then number 2 are these pine logs. I mean, they're enormous. They're 20 feet long. They weigh 500, 600, 700 pounds.
You have to go get them.
We have to go get them. We have to get the down timber. We have to trim it. We have to put it on a truck. We have to transport it. We have to bring it back. But we didn't ask China to make us any metal poles, and we both feel really good about that.
Without mentioning the names of any of the companies that participate in this program, can you give us a brief rundown of the Landfill Diversion meat thing?
Yeah, and we're one of the only programs, I believe, there might be 1 or 2 more out there, there's some other people in the program, but we're the only wolf sanctuary I know about that feeds our carnivores Landfill Diversion. And that's a program where we go to grocery stores, and the meat that goes bad that day is put into a deep freezer. We pick up twice a week. We bring it out, we remove all the packing, we inspect all the meat, and we cut that meat up to feed our wolves. So even though we have carnivores, we're not killing any animals. Not now, not ever. You know, Lauren and I are both vegetarians, and we're very sincere and very serious about the fact that we don't want to harm any more animals. Kind of our motto is do less harm. That applies to the construction, that applies to the way that we feed our animals, and you know, the two of us just, we find creative solutions. You know, it's how we became a pair.